My brothers and sisters, I want to start by saying that you are chosen. You may not feel like it, you may not fully understand it, but you are chosen by God to do something extraordinary in this world. And today, I'm speaking to you because I want you to understand something powerful. April 1st is not just another day on the calendar. It is a pivot point, a moment where your choices will shape the rest of your life. April 1st will decide your fate. This is not an exaggeration. This is a prophetic warning. There are moments in life that feel ordinary, but are actually filled with the potential to shape our future forever. April 1st is one of those moments. It's easy to dismiss this day as just another date on the calendar, but if you open your heart and spirit, you'll realize that this day holds a powerful divine purpose. You see, April 1st will decide your fate, and the decision you make on this day has the ability to shift the trajectory of your life in ways you can't even begin to imagine. God has a plan for you, and this day could be the beginning of your next great chapter if you're ready to choose it. But the truth is, so many of us wander through life waiting for the right moment to take action. We wait for the stars to align, for circumstances to be perfect, or for some external sign to tell us that it's finally time to move. Yet life doesn't wait for perfect circumstances. If you're always waiting for things to feel right, you'll find that you're standing still, stuck in a cycle of hesitation. The truth is, the time is always now. And April 1st is the perfect time for you to make the decision to move forward and to step into your purpose with everything you have. God is not waiting for you to be perfect. He's waiting for you to choose him. Just like I once found myself at a crossroads in my own life, unsure of the next step, I can tell you from experience that the key to change is choice. At some point, we all face a moment where we have to decide, are we going to keep walking the same path, or will we take a step into the unknown with God leading the way? I can't emphasize enough how crucial that moment is. God's call is there, but it's up to you to respond. No one else can make this choice for you. When I made the decision to fully surrender and trust God, everything started to shift. I stopped waiting for things to line up perfectly. I stopped doubting myself and started believing that if I stepped out, God would meet me with everything I needed. I didn't wait for the perfect conditions. I acted because I knew that the change I had been waiting for would only come if I chose to take a leap of faith. And I want you to understand you have to do the same. April 1st isn't just another day. It's a divine opportunity to make a decision that will alter your life's course forever. Let me make this clear. The days of waiting for some magical moment to begin your journey are over. God is calling you right now, not next week, not next month. He's asking you to choose today. When April 1st comes, you will be faced with a choice to either stay in the comfort of your old ways or step out into the unknown with faith. The time to act is now, and I'm telling you, if you make that decision on April 1st, your life will never be the same. This is more than just a motivational talk. It's a prophetic warning. If you don't make a decision to choose God's path for your life, you might find yourself stuck in the same cycle for years to come. God is waiting for you to make the choice. He's already equipped you with everything you need to succeed, but he won't force you to step into your destiny. You have to make the decision. And the amazing thing is, when you choose him, you will find the strength, the resources, and the courage you need to move forward. You will experience a divine shift that will change everything, but it requires action from you. When April 1st comes, make that decision to step into your calling, to trust that God will guide you every step of the way. Don't wait for the stars to align, because the truth is, they might never align exactly how you expect. Take action, choose faith, and trust God to move in your life. This is your moment, your time to act. The power of decision is often underestimated. In fact, many people go through life waiting for something outside of themselves to change before they take action. They wait for a perfect sign, a clear signal, or a divine intervention that will make their path crystal clear. But the truth is, the power to change your life lies in your choices. And the moment you choose to act, everything starts to shift. You might not feel ready. You might not see the full picture yet. But the moment you make a conscious decision to step into your purpose, the universe, God's plan, will begin to unfold in front of you. Too many of us live in a perpetual state of waiting, thinking that someday, somehow, the right opportunity will present itself. But in reality, waiting often leads to stagnation. The longer we wait, the more we delay the greatness that's already inside of us. You were created for something special, something greater than the life you're currently living. The power to manifest that greatness is in your hands. It's not about waiting for a better moment, a more convenient time, or a less chaotic season. It's about deciding that this moment is the one where you take action. It's about choosing today to change the course of your life. Let me remind you of something important. God doesn't want you to remain where you are. He didn't create you to stay stagnant, to keep going around the same mountain. He has bigger plans for you, plans to prosper you, to give you a future filled with purpose. But you have to take the first step. You have to make the decision, and that decision needs to be made now. God is not waiting for you to be perfect. He's waiting for you to say, yes, I will trust you. I will step out in faith. It's that simple, yet that powerful. The power is in the decision. And the decision can come at any moment. When I reflect on my own journey, I realize how many times I waited, how many times I hesitated, not sure if I was ready or if I was worthy of the success I dreamed about. But what I learned is that God doesn't need you to have all the answers. He just needs you to have faith in the process. I had to make a choice to trust that God was going to show me the way, even when I couldn't see the path ahead. I didn't need to know every single detail. I just needed to say yes to the opportunity and take that first step, even if it felt scary. April 1st for you is your moment to decide. It's the day that can mark the shift in your life. The day you stop waiting for permission or signs and start living as if God has already granted you all the blessings you've been praying for. There is no more waiting. You are ready. Everything you need is already inside of you, and once you choose to act, you'll realize how quickly the pieces of your life will start to come together. But it won't happen unless you decide. It's time to stop questioning if you are worthy. It's time to stop doubting whether you're ready. The truth is, none of us are ever truly ready. Readiness comes with action. Confidence comes with practice. But what's most important is that you start. Starting is the hardest part, but it is also the most rewarding. And the best part is when you step out in faith and trust God with your decision, you'll find that He will meet you halfway and bring the resources, the people, and the opportunities that you need. The moment you make that choice, you'll begin to see how everything starts to align, even when it seems like things aren't fully in place. That's how God works. The key here is to understand that your destiny is not dependent on waiting for a perfect moment. It's dependent on your ability to decide. God has already placed everything you need in your path, but it's up to you to choose to walk it. When you make the decision to act, He will honor that decision. He will guide your steps and open doors that you never even imagined could be opened. But that only happens if you choose to trust Him enough to take that first step on April 1st. That day is not just another day. It is the moment that could change everything if you decide to take action. The choice you make on April 1st is not just about a single decision. It's about shifting your mindset from one of doubt and hesitation to one of absolute faith and trust. Too often we live under the heavy burden of fear. Fear that we're not enough, fear that we won't be able to handle the challenges that lie ahead. But what if I told you that the only thing standing between you and the life you've always dreamed of is your ability to step out in faith without knowing exactly how everything will unfold? What if I told you that the very act of choosing God's path for your life will unlock doors that were once closed? It's not about having all the answers or waiting for the perfect circumstances. It's about deciding that today, right now, you will trust that the best version of your life is ahead of you, not behind you. There is a scripture that says, "For we walk by faith, not by sight. 1 Corinthians 5:7. This is the key to understanding how to step into your future. You are not meant to wait until everything is clear before you act. Faith means trusting God even when you can't see the road ahead. It means believing that when you step out, even if it's into unknown territory, He will be there with you, guiding you every step of the way. April 1st is your opportunity to trust that God has already paved the way for you, even if you don't have all the details yet. You don't need to see the whole picture. Just trust that the first step will lead you to the next one, and the next one will lead you closer to the person God has called you to be. When I think back on my own journey, I remember a time when I felt lost, unsure of where my life was headed. I had dreams, yes, but I didn't know how to turn those dreams into reality. But I made a decision that changed everything. I chose to trust that the God who had created me would not leave me stranded or without purpose. I chose to take action even though I didn't know all the answers. And let me tell you, God honored that decision. The moment I decided to walk by faith, to trust that He had a plan, the doors I thought were closed began to swing wide open. The opportunities I had once thought impossible suddenly became within reach. It wasn't because I was perfect or had it all figured out, but because I made the decision to trust that God would lead me every step of the way. April 1st is the moment when you get to make that same decision. The decision to stop waiting for a perfect time or a perfect plan and instead to trust that God will lead you through the unknown. It is the day when you stop second guessing yourself and start believing that you are capable of achieving what He has set before you. I know that it might feel overwhelming right now, but I want you to hear me clearly. You are not alone in this. God has equipped you with everything you need to succeed, but He can't do it for you. He's waiting for you to take the first step, to trust that He will be there to guide you every step of the way. When you make that decision to act, to move forward in faith, you will see how everything starts to come together. This isn't just about a day on the calendar. It's about making a choice that can propel you into the future that God has already prepared for you. The decision you make on April 1st will set the stage for everything that follows. But remember, it starts with you. You don't have to wait for a miracle to happen. The miracle happens when you decide to act, even when you don't have all the details. God has already given you the tools you need to succeed, but He needs you to take that first step in faith. As you do, you'll discover that the path ahead is not as unclear as you once thought. God will show you the way, but you have to trust Him enough to begin the journey. April 1st isn't just another date on the calendar. It's a divine opportunity for you to choose faith over fear, action over hesitation, and trust over doubt. It's the day that could mark the beginning of everything you've ever wanted. Don't wait for the stars to align. Don't wait for the perfect conditions. Trust that today is the day for you to take the leap and step into the life that God has already prepared for you. The moment you decide to take that step, you'll see everything start to fall into place in ways you never imagined. But it starts with you. Make the decision, take the step, and watch how everything changes. The truth is, we often overlook the profound power of making a decision. We assume that the answers will come, that the opportunities will present themselves when the time is right. But here's something I want you to understand today. The time will never feel perfect. The perfect moment will never come. What determines whether you succeed or not is what you do with the moments you're given right now. We think that once everything aligns, then we can take action, but that is a misconception. The act of making a choice, a firm decision to move forward, is what transforms everything. When you look at those who are successful, those who are walking in their purpose, you will notice one thing. They made a decision. They didn't wait for the stars to align. They didn't wait for the perfect conditions. They acted in spite of fear, in spite of uncertainty, and most importantly, in spite of their doubts. They trusted that the God who placed the vision inside of them would also equip them to walk it out. This is where many of us miss it. We get caught up in overthinking, in second guessing, and in waiting for the moment that will somehow be right. but the moment is right now. The decision is right now. Your breakthrough is not in the future, it's in the decision you make today. When I reflect on my journey, I remember a time when I was uncertain and unsure of which way to go. There were doubts, there were questions, and there was fear about what would happen if I failed. But in the midst of it all, I realized something crucial. The only way I would ever see the breakthrough I was praying for was if I made the decision to move forward regardless of how unprepared I felt. I had to choose to believe that even if I stumbled, even if I didn't have everything figured out, God would be with me every step of the way. And let me tell you, God honored that decision. The moment I decided to trust him, doors began to open. Not because I was perfect, but because I decided to act in faith, trusting that God would show up. This is the opportunity you have today. April 1st can be the day you step out of the place of waiting and hesitation and into the place of action and faith. What you might not realize is that the change you've been asking for is already within reach, but it requires you to step out in trust. There's no magic formula, no secret path to success. The path is clear. You make a decision and you move forward. That's it. That's how you unlock the next level in your life. It doesn't matter if you don't have all the answers, if you're not completely ready, if you're unsure of the next step. What matters is that you trust God enough to take the first step. And that first step will lead you to the next and the next. It's time to stop waiting for permission. It's time to stop waiting for someone to tell you that you are ready. You are ready now. You were created for greatness, and the moment you decide to step into your purpose, everything will begin to shift. God has already given you the tools, the talents, and the resources you need. What you're waiting for is a decision. And once you make it, things will start to unfold in ways you never expected. The people you need will show up. The resources will be provided, the opportunities will open. But it all starts with you. When you choose to trust God with your decision, when you choose to believe that he has already paved the way, you'll begin to see how quickly the pieces of your life start to fit together. You'll find that the breakthrough you've been praying for is not as far away as it seemed, but is already on its way. But you have to decide, you have to make the choice to take action, to move forward, even if you're uncertain. That's the key. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to trust that God will lead you where you need to go. And so on April 1st, make the decision to act. Don't wait for the perfect conditions. Don't wait for the fear to subside. Don't wait for the stars to align. Take the first step in faith and watch how everything starts to fall into place. You were not created to live in fear, doubt, or hesitation. You were created to walk confidently in the purpose God has laid out for you. This is your moment. Step out in faith, take that first step, and watch how everything changes.